What a weekend. What a weekend we had. Donald Trump stepped off the plane, California, yelled at the LA mayor, hey, next time, use water. And also, if you guys believe in voter ID, then maybe we'll give you guys some money. Your residents said that they want to clean up their own mess and that they want to go home. You're saying they need a permit. I think I'm just going to get rid of FEMA. I'll see you guys later. Then he leaves on his plane. And then there's signs from the ground from crazy people, I guess, or I don't know. According to the LA people on the ground, the actual citizens of LA, they believe it's teenagers just being teenagers. But there's a bunch of help signs and a bunch of terrorism and traffic signs and all kinds of crazy stuff laying across the ground, spelled out for the sky to see, including federal. I don't know. There's lots of schizophrenics in LA. Not going to go down that rabbit hole. But there's also the laser beams. They're saying oh, lasers. And then Donald Trump kind of fed into it a little bit. He was like, I don't know. I haven't seen fires like this. The trees didn't burn, but the house has burned. And it's just I don't care how it burned, to be honest. I'm not going down this rabbit hole. I'm not doing it. I'm not becoming a Mel Gibson or an Alex Jones about the LA fires. We're just going to let it be because it's LA and burn, baby, burn. But after Donald Trump got back, Trump Daddy had two surprises on the hand. One, Kristi Noem voted in and now is doing her thing. I don't know, killing more dogs. Not really sure. But then Pete Hegseth became the Secretary of Defense only after dead body Mitch McConnell decided not to vote for him, and then J.D. Vance had to vote for him, and then J.D. Vance tweeted out, I thought I was done voting in the Senate. Hee hee, ha ha. Enjoy your ride, Pete Hegseth, because now you here. And then we arrive at the big story of the weekend. Immigration. We put a bunch of criminals on military planes and sent them back to their countries. We took photos of it and made a photo op-ed of it being like, yo, look, see, we're giving people back to their countries. We're being like, you don't belong here, you belong there. So go back there. And apparently Colombia didn't like that because they didn't like how we didn't put them in first class. We didn't treat them like they were, I don't know, royalty. They're not ambassadors, Colombia. They're criminals that were in the wrong country. And now you must take back your criminals. No, we don't like that because I didn't like how the Brazilian people were treated. So then Donald Trump was like, all right, guys, no more coffee. We're making sure that Colombia can't eat or survive anymore. They're going to turn into a giant Cuba if they don't pick up their fucking people. And with that said, we arrive at the primary objective of today's news, I guess. I don't know. What is going on? So much crap. I can't wait for RFK hearings. That's going to be unbelievable. That's happening, I believe, Tuesday and Wednesday. Fight, fight, fight. That is the deep one, especially after a 50-50 vote for Pete Hegseth. It's going to be scary with RFK, but we're hoping. I'm praying. Please, Lord, save RFK and put him on as the Secretary of Health and Human Services or whatever. Let's just overhaul medicine. And with that said, today's episode is mostly about two men. One is a guy who helped Dr. Fauci out, and his name is Bill Gates. He basically steals things for a living, and he one time saw Jeffrey Epstein, and now everybody asks him about it every time because he acts really weird every time you ask him about Epstein. And so Bill Gates gonna, do the liberal side while Dr. Phil joins ICE on a raid. Dr. Phil joined ICE on a raid, and the illegal migrants were pretty shocked by Dr. Phil. With that said, it is January 27th, Monday morning. Woo, what a weekend. And this is No News is News.
Guys, I guess just don't follow the sky, you know?
Here's the basic idea of President Trump's view on this. If you are a lawful permanent resident or a legal immigrant who plans to stay, your children, of course, should become American citizens. But let's say you're the child of an ambassador. You don't become...
But that's not part of it.
Well, that is
already a carve-out
an
having to do
important
with kids of
principle.
diplomats.
But we're saying that carve-out should apply to anybody who doesn't plan to stay here. If you come here on vacation and you have a baby in an American hospital, that baby doesn't become an American citizen. If you're an illegal alien and you come here temporarily, hopefully, your child does not become an American citizen by virtue of just having been born on American soil. There's a very basic principle in American immigration law that if you want to become an American citizen and you've done it the right way, and the American people in their collective wisdom have welcomed you into our national community, then you become a citizen. But temporary residents, people who come in here, whether legally or illegally, and don't plan to stay, their children should become American citizens. I don't know any country that does that or why we would be different.
Well, this is a country founded by immigrants.
Well, this is a country founded by... This is a very unique country, and it was founded by some immigrants and some settlers, but just because we were founded by immigrants doesn't mean that 240 years later that we have to have the dumbest immigration policy in the world.
So forget the false narrative of sweeping neighborhoods looking for people of different color than us. Forget that hogwash, and look at what we actually did. We're proving it to them. How can you argue with the system we've set up?
Well, straight up, are you going into schools and arresting children at schools?
No.
Is anything like that happening?
No, sir.
Are you going into businesses and sweeping through there and taking anybody with a tan and seeing where they're from?
We go into businesses for a criminal enforcement operation, but again, sweeps don't occur anywhere.
The sweeps are not occurring. You're just not going in like seining for fish in a pond and just picking up. You're going targeted. If a criminal is working in a business and you have to pick them up there, you're going in for that target.
Absolutely.
How do you respond to Senator Gallego?
Look, the administration already has the authority to detain people that have committed violent crimes for deportation, and they should. But this bill is so broad that if you're a dreamer and you take a tube of toothpaste from the store, you can be detained for deportation. That, to me, is a terrible overreach. So the president already has the authority. I don't mind confirming he has the authority, but I don't want to broaden that to be able to deport dreamers for taking a tube of toothpaste.
What are you going to do about the fact that you've now been given a pardon? Are you going to accept it, or are you planning to look for some type of legal recourse to reject it?
We're looking at it. I'm not sure there's much to be done, given that it went to the whole committee. This is also, I think, unprecedented. In the first instance, it was a result of the president wrongfully threatening to go after people who oversee his misconduct in a legitimate committee process. Nevertheless, we'll have to look at this as a committee to see if there's anything to be done.
What does that mean, you're going to look at it? Does that mean that you'll make a decision collectively about whether to accept these pardons?
We have tried to operate together as a committee, and I think the law is unclear because this is frankly uncharted territory. Whether pardons of this nature are like a law in which you're powerless to say yay or nay, or there's something different.
It is quite murky, but it sounds like what you're saying is we'll look at it, but most likely you're going to have to accept this pardon whether you like it or not.
It may not be actionable one way or another unless there is actually some kind of bogus effort to prosecute the committee.
You know that this creates fear in the immigrant community. The chair of the U.S. Conference of Bishops Committee said turning places of care, healing, and solace into places of fear and uncertainty for those in need while endangering the trust between pastors, providers, educators, and the people they serve will not make our communities safer.
Well, look, here's what I think. If Congress has a job to do, we're enforcing the laws Congress enacted and the president signed. If they don't like it, change the law. I find it hard to believe any member of Congress is telling us not to enforce the law that they enacted and they fund us to do.
But opening up to anyone who's in the country illegally and going into schools and grabbing them, does that, kids, adults?
The message needs to be clear. There's consequences for entering a country illegally. If we don't show there's consequences, you're never going to fix the border problem.
Estimates are that there are 11 million undocumented immigrants in this country right now. How can you possibly afford to deport all of those people?
Well, I'll leave it up to Congress. I think Congress, the president has a mandate. This is the #1 issue that people voted on. I think Congress has a mandate to give us money we need. What price you put on national security?
Yeah. Are you a citizen?
My mother's citizen.
Your mother's a citizen,
Yes.
but you're not?
Nope.
But you've never been deported before?
You Dr. Phil. You look like Dr. Phil.
Yeah? How do you know me?
No, I seen Dr. Phil, you know, on TV.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is an example of sanctuary cities, right? We got an illegal alien convicted of sex crimes involving children, and he's walking the streets of Chicago. Again, the downfall, the problem with the sanctuary city, that people like us walking the street rather than local law enforcement working with federal agents. This is what we're dealing with.
Yeah. You've been charged with sex crimes with children?
Not really.
Not really? And never been deported?
Nope.
Huh.
Let's take him in and process and lock him up.
I just want to say that I'm so sorry. All my people are getting attacked. The children. They don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do. I'll try everything, I promise.
Day of Trump's presidency, DHS, there was a press release, and they said that they had nabbed more than 300 illegal migrant criminals, including 1 attempted murder and 1 child molester. But what about the other 298? What was their crime? Because I think either you own the fact that these are all violent criminals and break down who these people are, what their crime was, and tell the American people, or tell us what they really are and let us have a healthy debate over the disagreement of how this is being carried out.
Your question, which is this the immigration fix that this country wanted? I think absolutely there are certain people that wanted to see this kind of pain and destruction for a certain group or type of immigrant. Because if you look at the numbers, yes, the number of immigrants that come from Mexico or of Mexican-born are the largest. But the next largest are Asians. 28% of them come. I don't think they walk across the southern border. I think they come by plane. The next largest are Europeans. I don't think they walk either. I'm just saying immigrants, right?
Oh, not undocumented, though.
A lot of them are undocumented, actually.
But that's not the stat for being the
But a lot
Asians
of them
come by plane
and then overstay their visas. They overstay their visas. They overstay their visas, so they're undocumented. The Europeans that come here that overstay their visas are undocumented, but they don't come across the southern border. So I think there's a very clear message as to what this president wants the look of a criminal migrant to look like, what an undocumented migrant. And I think that's racist. Let me also say that, in my view, he has circumvented established law by weaponizing the U.S. military.